There's a dangerous trend of people buying on credit to the point where they could destroy their chance to retire comfortably. I was having a conversation with a 40-something who was having a beer-enhanced chat about finances, including the fact that his new car was paid for with his line of credit. "It has auto parking, will stop you drifting into the next lane, and it's a deep red color," he said. "Well, that hit every hot button for me. It's just a pity it wasn't my car." And while he proudly told me he had a couple of $100,000 in his super, the chat also revealed a worrying approach to finance which has become more and more common. The lifestyle of today is being fueled by the savings of the future. It's a trend which has the possibility of buggering up the outcome of a retirement income strategy which relies on superannuation saving playing a major role in our future. It works like this. The 40-somethings of today are now well into an incredibly long period of sustainable growth. They've never really experienced an economic downturn in their working lives. Well, we've dabbled with talk of a recession. A lucky break in the form of a booming Chinese economy meant the negative worldwide effects of the GFC post-2008 were all but blips on our graph. We have, however, benefited from an amazing period of historically low interest rates, thanks to the effects of the same GFC. That too has created complacency. The 20 and 30-somethings almost scoff at talk of interest rates hitting double digits. In their working lives, they've been firmly entrenched in the 4 to 6% range. Our must-have world also provides all the tools to make sure we can instantly satisfy our desires and wants. Credit cards, store charge cards, personal loans and lines of credit all have served to fuel the unenviable fact that Australians' indebtedness is now one of the highest in the world. According to the ABS, 1 in every 3 households is now over-indebted. What seems to be forgotten is that one day, someday, these debts will need to be repaid. A few years ago, lenders began to incorporate a traditionally ignored asset in their loan assessment models. These are the tools used to determine whether you can or cannot afford the loan, and in essence, apply the basic principles of assessing a potential borrower. The lender's 2 questions are essentially, can you afford to repay the loan? And, how are our bums protected if you don't? Banks will now include your superannuation balances as an exit strategy. In other words, they're factoring in that you'll be dipping into your super to repay your loan when it's time to pull up stumps. Our 40-something with $200,000 in super today can probably look forward to a super balance of more than $800,000. But if our $500,000 debt hasn't been repaid, then an awfully big chunk of that retirement nest egg will disappear into the coffers of the lender who will be waiting. And that's before we factor in the inevitable increase in interest rates and what that would do to any surplus cash flow. The message? Get those loans down, folks, while the rates are low. There is no retirement strategy for the average person.